Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, you're watching BookedonCharity, and in today's video I will be sharing with you my final book haul of 2025. We are smack in the middle of December and I don't believe that I will be getting any more books. Also, I'm on leave, so I won't be able to collect my books if publishers send me books. However, I might be inclined to buy a book or two, but I think I will only share that in my January book haul. So for now, this is the final book haul, and before we get into this video, let me share my bevy of the day, which is a Japanese green tea matcha latte. I made this with the green tea matcha latte from Red Espresso. I have been loving that so much. The family is loving it, and I used oat milk to make this matcha. I frothed my oat milk and blended my matcha so that the powder can nicely dissolve, and I topped it off with a sprinkle of cinnamon, and it is so good. I've already started drinking it. But it's really good, and I topped it all off with a caramel syrup that I've actually been really enjoying, and I bought those from TAKEALOT. So yeah, this is what I'm drinking today. All right, so let's get into this video. I've got 4 stacks for you today. I've got a book that I received from McMillan. I've got books that I received from Jonathan Ball Publishers. I've got books that were borrowed to me by my friend, and I've got books that I have recently bought. So let's start with the book from the people at McMillan. So from McMillan, they sent me this book, and it is called Fear the Flames, and this one is by Olivia Rose Darling, and it features dragons because I just see dragons everywhere. There's a dragon, there's a dragon, and some dragons at the back. So I recently read a book that featured dragons, and I felt myself feeling like I need more dragons in my life, and I'm so happy that they sent me this one. So this one reads: no one in Emirath had ever seen a dragon until 5 eggs, long-thought fossils, hatched in the presence of the young Princess Elowin Atara. That sentence was too long. Didn't make sense. No one in Emirath had ever seen a dragon, comma, until 5 eggs, long-thought fossils hatched in the presence of the young Princess Elowin Atara. Fearing the power his daughter would wield through her soul bond with the creatures, King Garrick imprisoned her for many years, desperately trying to break the bond that united them, until a daring rescue saved Elowin from his clutches, but left her 5 precious dragons at his mercy. Years later, Elowin is now a woman determined to free her dragons by whatever means necessary, even if that means allying with the commander of Varaveth, Caden Velez, the most feared and dangerous man in all kingdoms of Ravaran. The pull between Elowin and Caden becomes impossible to resist, even when trusting each other seems both reckless and essential. But with the threat of war looming over them, the imminent heist to rescue Elowin's dragons will be their most dangerous adventure yet. So yeah, this sounds really good, and it sounds like a romantasy at the same time between Elowin and Caden. I don't doubt that there will be a romance in this book. So very happy with this one. Thank you so much to the people at McMillan. This was such a nice surprise because this book was not on my radar, so I'm really happy that I got this copy. Next up, I've got books from Jonathan Ball Publishers. So I attended an event a few weeks ago, the Jonathan Ball romance event, and during that event we were gifted a book, and we were also allowed to choose 3 books. So the book that they gifted to us is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. There we go. This book is giving cozy, it's giving fall vibes, it's giving aka autumn vibes, it's giving cozy fantasy, but there has been no proof that there is fantasy elements or like magical elements in this book, but my brain keeps saying something about this is giving very fantastical. So it is definitely a romance, but I don't know the tropes of this one. It just says it's the season to fall in love, and at the back it reads, when Jeannie's aunt gives her the beloved pumpkin spice cafe in the small town of Dream Harbor, Jeannie jumps at the chance for a fresh start away from her very dull desk job. Logan is a local farmer who avoids Dream Harbor's gossip at all costs, but Jeannie's arrival disrupts Logan's routine, and he wants nothing to do with the irritatingly upbeat new girl except that he finds himself inexplicably drawn to her. Will Jeannie's happy-go-lucky attitude win over the grumpy but gorgeous Logan, or has the city girl found the one person in town who won't fall for her charms or her pumpkin spiced lattes? So, okay, it's probably just a romance, but I don't know, I'm still excited about it. I really love the cover. It's absolutely stunning, and it's giving me all the vibes I need to go into this book. So it's definitely my next read after I finish my current book. So looking forward to finally picking up the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. The next book I have was actually a mystery books, because they did this nice mystery disc, and the books were covered and there were tropes on there, and you can go and pick a book based on whatever tropes call best to you. And the one that I ended up with, because I always go to fantasy romance. I did see 2 Formula One romances, and I was very, very tempted to pick them up, but I was just like, fantasy is calling me though. So yeah, so I ended up picking Immortal Dark by Tigest Gurma, and I'm looking forward to this one. This one is featuring vampires. That's also another group of creatures that I've been really, really excited to read from. And I think Carissa Broadband really brought back that love for well, it didn't go away, but it brought back vampires into the space. You know what I mean? In the front, it says, a lost heiress, a soulless vampire, a secret drenched in blood. Ooh, I think I added this on my December TBR, so it's a book that I definitely want to open very, very soon. It says bloodthirsty vampire, innocent maiden, think again. Orphaned heiress Kidan Adain grew up far from the hidden society she was born into, where human bloodlines gain power through vampire companionship. That is very interesting. When her sister June disappears, Kidan is convinced a vampire stole her, the very vampire bound to their family, a cruel yet captivating Susenyos Sagad. To find her sister, Kidan must infiltrate the elite Oxley University and survive living in Susenyos, even as he does everything he can to drive her away. As Kidan uncovers the heart of the ruthless vampire underworld, she grows determined to bring Oxley to its knees. And when her thirst for revenge collides with Susenyos' lust for blood, the pair become entangled in a game of seductive desires and murderous secret. The first in a deliciously dark, dangerously romantic, black vampire trilogy. I'm here for it. I am here for it. I am looking forward to this one so much. Thank you so much to the people at Jonathan Bull Publishers for the opportunity to be able to even, get my hands on this copy. So I'm so happy. The next book I have is another romantasy, because we are in the space. At this point, I need to actually complete my romantasy vlogs because I haven't been doing that. This one is called Blood Guard, and it is by Cersei Robson, and it says truth is an illusion. At the back it reads, everything in the kingdom of Arrow is a lie. Leith of Grey thought he had nothing to lose, that fighting in the gladiator arena was his last best chance to save his dying sister. This is the one that it features gladiators. Okay, he was wrong, and they took everything: his hope, his freedom, his very humanity. All Leith has left in his battle-scarred, rage-fueled body. Then Leith meets Maeve, an elven royal who is everything he despises, until the alluring princess offers him the one thing he needs the most: a way out. But in a kingdom built on secrets and lies, hope doesn't come cheap, nor will his ultimate revenge. I can't wait. I can't wait. All these books sound so good. All these books sound so good. I'm so glad that I'm on leave right now, because I want to take as much opportunity as possible to read as much as possible to get to like all of these books, because everything sounds so good, and I can't wait. The next book I have is another fantasy romance. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, at this point, I should have vlogs and vlogs and vlogs and vlogs, but I can only do that if I actually read the books. This one is this the name of the series? The City of Phantom. I feel like I want to say that, but I don't know if it's a standalone or not. Oof, maps. Maps. So stunning. So the book I'm holding in my hand is called The Dagger and the Flame. So this is what the cover looks like. I'm trying to get it to focus. And this one is by Catherine Doyle, and at the back it reads, "In a deadly game of revenge, the most dangerous mistake is falling in love." In the City of Phantom, shade magic is a deadly commodity controlled by two enemy guilds, the Cloaks and the Daggers, thieves and the assassins. On the night of her mother's murder, 18-year-old Seraphine seeks sanctuary with the Cloaks, her heart set on revenge. But nothing can prepare Sarah for the moment she comes face to face with Ransom, heir to the Order of Daggers. And Ransom is shocked to discover that this unassuming farm girl wields a strange and blazing magic he has never seen before. A fiery enemies to lovers romantasy. I can't wait. So we've got like warring factions, we've got groups, we've got secret magical abilities. I'm looking forward to it. Revenge. I'm looking forward to it. All right, and that is the last book that I received from the people at Jonathan Ball Publishers. Thank you again. Thank you again for all the books. I can't wait to pick all of them up, read them, share my thoughts with you guys through my reading vlogs. So I'm really looking forward to them. All right, the next stack of books I got when I went to go visit Katja home. She invited us for this beautiful weekend of like girl talk and just hanging out and connecting with women your age, and just it was so beautiful. And as book people do during that time, I took some books for her, and she was just like, "There are the bookshelves, go and shop." And I'm just like, that's a very dangerous thing to say to somebody who is a book reader, to tell them to go shop your bookshelf. Don't do that. Don't do that. But do it. Okay, do it, because this is why I've got these books in my hands, which I'm looking forward to. The first one I got is from an author that I've read 2 books from, and one I really enjoyed. The other one I enjoyed, but there was some things that I felt was lacking. And I'm talking about CJ Tudor. So I got The Other People by CJ Tudor, who's also the author of The Chalkman. So The Chalkman I read, and I think I gave like a 3.5-star rating. But then The Burning Girls I read, and I think I gave it like 4.5-star rating or something. The Burning Girls was really good. So this one says, driving home one night, Gabe sees the face of a little girl he knows in the rear window of the car in front. She mouths one word, Daddy. He never sees his 5-year-old daughter, Izzy, again. That part is just gonna break me, okay? And I knew it was gonna break me because of this little girl on the cover. I just knew. The police believe she's dead, but 3 years later, Gabe still drives the roads searching for the car that took Izzy, never giving up hope. Fran and her daughter, Alice, aren't searching but running. always one step ahead of the people who want to hurt them. Because Fran knows the truth about Gabe's daughter, and she knows who those chasing her and Alice will do if they catch them. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm glad that they're not giving away too much in the synopsis, because like I said, I want to read it very soon, and it's a nice short one. I feel like in 2 days I should be able to like read this book and finish it. So I'm looking forward to reading The Other People. And then a book that I've been really interested in, because one, it's fantasy, two, it is a classic, but it's a classic that I'm really interested in. Ooh, the font is so tiny, but the book is small. And this is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And I don't know whose video I was watching, but they talked about reading Frankenstein, but the Mary Shelley version, and it's like, that one is good. So when I saw this, I was like, let me try this out, okay? And this one reads, since it was first published in 1818, guys, 1818, Mary Shelley's seminal novel has generated countless print, stage, and screen adaptations, but none has ever matched the power and philosophical resonance of the original. True. Composed as part of a challenge with Byron and Shelley to conjure up the most terrifying ghost story, Frankenstein narrates the chilling tale of being created by a bright young scientist and the catastrophic consequences that ensue. Considered by many to be the first science fiction novel, the tragic tale of Victor Frankenstein and the tortured creation he rejects is a classical fable about the pursuit of knowledge, the nature of beauty, and the monstrosity inherent to man. I don't need to say anymore, okay? Looking forward to reading Frankenstein. It's also another one that I think I will happily add it to my December TBR, my ever-growing, but I intend on reading books that I enjoy, and that's that. The next book I have is called This Is How You Lose the Time War. This is a sci-fi, which really surprised me that she had a sci-fi in her bookshelf, and I was just like, I'm looking forward to it. It's a very, look at that, very skinny book, and there's the author. This is what the book looks like. This book is by Amal El Mortar and Max Gladstone, and it reads, among the ashes of a dying world, an agent of the commandant finds a letter. It reads, burn before reading. How do you do that? Okay. Red and Blue, two rival agents hell-bent on securing the best possible future for their warring factions, strike up an unlikely correspondence. But what started as a taunt, a battlefield boast, grows into something more, something epic and romantic, something that could change the past and the future. The discovery of their bond will mean their deaths. There's still a war going on, and someone has to win that war. That's how wars work, right? Co-written by two award-winning writers, This Is How You Lose the Time War is an epic love story spanning time and space. A sci-fi romance. I'm looking forward to it. Very skinny, so another one that I'm planning on sitting down one day and reading. It is literally, how many? It's 198 pages. I can literally sit and read this in one sitting if I am really determined to finish it. Okay, so I'm looking forward to This Is How You Lose the Time War. And then the last book that I picked up from her bookshelf is called The Silent Companions. I think the first thing that intrigued me about this one is the cover. It's giving Bridget Collins vibes, okay? I saw the cover, I saw, like, it just looks really good. It looks really good. And this one is by Laura Parcell. And at the back, it reads, newly married, newly widowed Elsie is sent to see out her pregnancy at her late husband's crumbling country estate, The Bridge. With her new servants resentful and the local villagers actively hostile, Elsie only has her husband's awkward cousin for company, or so she thinks. For inside her new home lies a mysterious wooden figure, a a silent companion that bears an unsettling resemblance to Elsie herself. The Sunday Express says it is deliciously creepy. So I am looking forward to this one. It is giving, like, it's very intriguing to me, and I'm just like, I want to know. I just want to know, what is that silent companion? I guess it's haunted. There's a haunted house situation in here, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. So thank you again to my friend Katlaho for allowing me to scour your bookshelf and pick some exciting reads to read. The final stack I have is books that I have recently bought. So you will see from my last 2 book hauls, I don't have a big stack of books that I've been buying because I've been very intentional about the books that I buy. Normally I will have big stacks because I go to Bargain Books and Reader's Warehouse, and I'll go and buy books for like 100 Rand, 60, 70 Rands, 80 Rands. But I've kind of like taken a break from that because I am collecting very specific books for specific series that I want to read and finish in the next year. So the first one I have is from the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. So I picked up Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. This is the last book in the series. I am still missing 2 books in between, but this was on sale at TAKEALOT. So those are the sales that I look forward to now. I think what I'm missing is Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms. Yeah, but I feel like I'm missing 2 books somewhere in here. I'm not gonna read the synopsis of this one because it is the final book in the series, but in this series we're following a main character who is an assassin but has been imprisoned in this deadly prison that nobody really escapes, but she gets hired for a specific purpose for the king, and they essentially give her a chance. And this is following her story. I read book 1. I think I started book 2, but I never finished it, so I need to go back. There's a romantic element to it. There is a little bit of a mystery element to it. There are hidden powers, abilities, and things that I still need to discover. So I will definitely be going back to restart Throne of Glass and then binge read the whole series and give you guys in-depth thoughts of my experience in a reading vlog. So looking forward to this one. And I've been collecting all of these in these covers because when I'm done and they're all sitting next to each other, they're gonna look so good. So yeah, looking forward to finally finishing Throne of Glass and also completing my collection, because like I'm saying, I'm very intentional about the books that I collect now. And then on that note, I've got 2 books from the same series that I bought during Black Friday. So at the shop they were having like a 20% book sale, and any sale is a good sale, and especially on books that you never ever find on sale and books that are already hard to find, I will jump on that. So I am on a journey to collect Brandon Sanderson's books. I have the Mistborn trilogy. I'm currently reading The Final Empire right now, but next year I want to get started on the Stormlight Archive. So I've been slowly collecting the books, and because I am collecting them in part 1 and part 2s, I essentially have to collect about 12 books. So it's taken me a while and it's costing me a lot of money, but I know that it's worth it. I'm telling myself that it's worth it, but this is what I've been doing. So first up, I've got The Way of Kings, and this is part 2 of The Way of Kings. I'm specifically buying part 1s and part 2s because the single bind up is so big, and I don't like my books being damaged. I don't like to see spines cracking. So when I'm reading, like, I'm very careful with my books. So if I get that big bind up, I know the spine is gonna crack. Spines cracking means that there's a high chance of pages starting to get loose, and I'm like, I don't want that. So I would rather spend my money and buy the books in the bind ups that I need in the different parts, and I know that when I place all of them on my bookshelf, and I've got a whole section of white by Brandon Sanderson. It's just gonna make me so happy. So yes, I've got The Way of Kings Part 2, and then I've got Words of Radiance, which is book 2, also part 2. So now I've got book 1 and book 2 complete. I need book 3 part 1 and part 2, and then I need book 4 part 1. I don't have Edge Dancer, but that is a novella, so I would probably just read it off my Kindle. So I'm missing Oathbringer, which is book 3 part 1 and part 2, and then I've got Rhythm of War part 2, so I'll need part 1. And then there's a new book that came out this year, so whenever that comes to our bookstores, I will definitely get those also in part 1 and part 2. So I'm looking forward to it. Brandon Sanderson has so many books, so many books. Look at all that, like that whole list. But this is where I am going to be continuing on my journey to reading Brandon Sanderson. So yeah, I'm so happy that I got these 2 books to add to my collection. So yeah, that is it. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far in this video, leave me a dagger and a heart for fantasy romance in general. I think I have a lot of fantasy romances in this haul, and I'm looking forward to reading all of these books. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.